then 75.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I do deliver it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guests and repeat offenders, both of them. Mary Walters and Samantha Rawley, welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Some interesting celebrations today. National Savings Day. No, I don't think we don't save money in California. We spend money. So I don't know how we could be doing a National Savings Day today. National Vermont Day. Not a chance. Free thought. Yeah, there's a lot of us that have some free thought. National Farmers Day. Okay, we can go with this one. National Kick Butt Day. That one, we'll take that one. And having beaten anorexia, I will go with National Gumbo Day. Yeah, we always find something good to enjoy. Although I'm, not into real spicy food, so maybe we won't go too heavy on that gumbo. Hey, let's take a look at what the markets are doing today on this Columbus Day. Well, the bond markets, they are closed. They don't work in the banking system anytime they can find a holiday. Now, I don't know. Do the banks have to go back to work now that we're not calling this Columbus Day? I think it's is it now Indigenous Peoples Day or something goofy along those lines? I don't know about this stuff. But the Dow Jones and the stock market's open. The Dow Jones is up 233 points right now. S&P 500 up 50. NASDAQ up 256 points. Oil down $1.25 a barrel. Do we want to know what gasoline is doing? Yeah, for those of us that still have gasoline cars. And I don't know, Joe Biden, he wants to get rid of them. Although today's message is that there is going to be no fracking. I don't know what tomorrow's message will be because Joe changes it every day. But national average gallon of gasoline, $2.18.7. Here in Calizuela, at $1.02 to $3.20 a gallon of gasoline is the average price. Mississippi, they're paying $1.50, $1.85.3. So think about that. Mississippi under $2, Calizuela over $3. What do you think? Are you happy about that? Let me know. Although we don't have a choice this time, but you do have the choice of who you're voting for. So when you decide you want to not pay $3 a gallon in gasoline, maybe we need to change some of our elected officials. That's the way we do it in the United States, although right now we've got some question marks going on. It fascinates me what the questions are right now, because here's the issue is, we're going into an election and the Democrat candidate for president is out saying the people do not have the right to know what his opinions are on certain topics that are pretty substantial. Now, how do you go and tell people, something, vote for me and I'll tell you what I believe in later?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah, that's I guess that's the new way of politics now. Vote for me, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I don't get it, but that is where they're going. The Senate hearings have started for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Came out with her opening statement, and this is a fascinating opening statement. Part of her comment, and I quote, "Policy decisions and value judgments of government must be made by the political branches elected and accountable to the people. The public should not expect courts to do so, and courts should not try." Fascinating. So the courts shouldn't be making up policy. I like that idea. We want the electeds. We're not electing, well, indirectly, I guess. We're not electing Supreme Court justices, but I guess if you elect or vote for Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, Kamala Harris, they're not telling us that they're going to pack the Supreme Court, add 6 more justices, or not pack the Supreme Court. Do you like your country the way it is? I know there's flaws. Or do you want to be Venezuela? It's kind of the choice that we're looking at right now. But again, Joe Biden says voters, quote, don't deserve, unquote, to know his position on packing the courts. You got to wonder about that one, but that's what's going on in the markets today in the areas of some of our politics. Let's see what else we've got going on in the morning briefing. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows sent a letter to Congress calling on lawmakers to pass legislation. For lawmakers to pass legislation. Isn't that what they're supposed to do, but rarely do? They don't get along on anything, but they want legislation to redirect $130 billion in unused funds from the expired Paycheck Protection Program to allow businesses demonstrating a decline in revenue to apply for a second round of funding while negotiations continue on a broader stimulus package. Trump administration's latest pitch came after its $1.8 trillion stimulus proposal was criticized by a bipartisan contingent of lawmakers over the weekend. How much money do they want to spend? Now, you know something, I'm old, but we've got our millennial duo on the show with us today. 1.8 trillion added to the national debt. Guess who gets to pay that? Yeah, it's probably not going to be us old people, right? Because we're going to probably be gone by then when that debt comes due. But hey, ladies, you get to pay. It's fascinating. We keep on spending this.
Go us.
Is that? Fascinating how we get to continue doing these things in our country. Eventually, they got to pay these bills, but who's going to do it? I mean, I've talked about how we're going to deal with the part of the mortgage part and the treasury part, right? That's easy. How we're going to deal with that part. That part, those are going to run off as they get paid off. You just don't rebuy them, and that solves that problem. But the money that's going and being spent when you send $1,200 to everybody because they're breathing, whether they're legally in this country or not, right? That part is a whole different issue. Those people you got to wonder, who's going to pay that back? Hey, have you seen the latest Joe Collins ad? This is a great ad. He has no chance of winning, but he is a Navy veteran. On Saturday, released a fascinating ad. He's going up against Mad Maxine Waters, right? And he puts an ad out there where he filmed it apparently, or maybe it was a green screen, in front of Maxine Waters' $6 million residence, and asked the viewers, do you know where he is? Yeah, well, Maxine Waters' mansion is not in her district. She doesn't want to live there. Joe Collins does live in the district. But my guess is I'd be willing to bet my neighbor's house that Maxine Waters, Mad Max, will win again. But this is Calizuela, and we like to do the same things and expect a different result. This is another one that I'm expecting to watch. I'm really watching with fascination. Now, I can tell you this. I've been a lifelong Laker fan. I think LeBron James is the biggest jerk in the world, right? He's got his right to his opinion, but he doesn't have his right to his own facts. But what are they going to do now? The Lakers won the championship. I probably watched a matter of 2 or 3 minutes of the entire thing. Generally, when a team wins a national title, they have a big parade for the winning team in their home city. Now, LeBron James doesn't like the police. Who's he going to call to protect them during the parade? Right? They're going to probably want to call on the police department to do this, yet they keep giving the police department a rough time about everything they do. If I was a police officer, and a lot of the police officers volunteer for that kind of duty, I'm going to say, you know something? I'd rather not volunteer for this one, guys. I'd rather take the day off. I'd rather go to the beach. I'd rather do almost anything than watch a bunch of course, vast majority of America decided this year they would do almost anything instead of watching the NBA playoffs, lowest rated playoffs in history. And you think about that, you've got a couple of very large markets, right? Los Angeles, I think it's the second or third largest market in the country. You've got Miami, another good sized market, playing head to head. And they've got the worst ratings in NBA history. Do you think people are getting tired of hearing the NBA basketball players whining about how bad they have it? Now, here's another thought to me, and I'm a unique individual. Many people will tell you that, right? I kind of have some weird thoughts that go through this brain. Many of them come right out the mouth. But did you watch the football game last night? That gruesome injury of Dak Prescott? And, I wish the best for the man. It's a serious, serious injury. It looks like his surgery went very well, is what they're saying. But could you imagine what his agent is saying? Dak turned down $175 million as his contract to play for a contract guarantee at $31 million. Now, I'll take the 31. I'll take 10% of that. But he turned down $175 million. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back and play basketball again. Hopefully, he'll be able to live his life again. He is a very young man. But that kind of an injury is a serious, serious injury, and wish nothing but the best for the young man. That was not something you want to watch on the highlights if you're into normalcy of any way. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to get the millennial view on today's mortgage market when we come back. 6 reasons why you'll win by selling with a real estate agent this fall. And I've got a featured home brought to you by my SoCalLender.com, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The mortgage market today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 278 points. NASDAQ up 284. S&P 500 up 5634. All that, you can find that right there on the super secret website, google.com. But what's going on in the markets? Well, the markets are pretty flat today in a lot of areas in the bond side and the mortgage side because the banks are closed. When the banks are closed, the bond market is closed. So we're not seeing anything really going on in that market. But we did see some interesting numbers from Friday that I didn't share with you. Vero's Real Estate Solutions released their forecast on Friday showing that they believe home prices will rise 5% over the next 12 months, which is a strong upward revision to their previous forecast of 3.5% last quarter. Some of the strongest markets as seen are in the West, unlike CoreLogic, who's revising their forecasting only 0.2% growth over the next year ahead. Vero's has no major metro area showing depreciation. Another number that we're going to talk about in just a minute, Black Knight reported that the number of mortgages in forbearance dropped by 3 million homes for the sharpest decline in 6 months. Over the past week, active forbearance has dropped by 649,000 or 18%. This brings the total number of homes in forbearance to 2.97 million homes, which is 5.6% of all mortgages. The reason for the big decline? The first big wave of forbearances from April hit the end of their initial 6-month term, 650,000 not opting to apply for another 6 months. Good sign. Over the next 30 days, another 800,000 will reach the end of their 6-month term. So we might see a big benefit, a big drop in these forbearances. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. So every month I ask the ladies, Mary and Samantha, to join me on a radio broadcast. And we like to go through and chat about what's going on in the world of real estate, but from a millennial's point of view, not from the old man's view. All right, so the ladies come on and share their insights with us. Both Mary and Sam are active in the real estate industry, and obviously they are millennials. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
This is the first time we've done this remotely, so we're going to try and see if we can have a little fun. We're experiencing a V-shaped recovery and now exceeding pre-pandemic levels. I wonder about this one because I hear about housing and a V-shaped recovery, but when you ladies have been on with me to the last few months or several months, we keep talking about the fact that real estate really, in our opinions, hasn't really taken much of a drop. If you see, other than that first month when everybody was scared to go out of their bedrooms or something, have you seen much change? Do you see it as being much of a difference?
I haven't. I mean, like you said, in the first, month or two when all the new guidelines came out and everyone sort of just froze and nobody even knew how to show property correctly anymore with all the guidelines, everything did freeze for a while. But since, I would say end of April, May, it's picked right back up. And I think think it's pretty much stronger than ever now. Sam?
Yeah, I feel the exact same. It's so strong, and I don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really need it to stop. I mean, we just want to report on what's really happening, right? I mean, the markets are what the markets are, and it fascinates me just to see what we've been doing and how, especially when we go through some of the market report today, and we see some of the different information that's coming up as to what some of the changes are, and it fascinates me. I don't want to get ahead of our slides that we are showing. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the KMET ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video channel, but we're showing some of the slides that we're talking about. Year-over-year changes in key metrics according to Showing Time, MBA, Zillow, NAR, NAHB, showing really that the housing market seems to be extremely strong. Showings up 60.7%. I mean, these are some massive numbers. Any thoughts?
I mean, not really, nothing new.
Yeah,
this is something we've been talking about for the last couple months, really, that, I mean, it's a crazy market out there right now.
Yeah, it is. And this is another one that I found fascinating here. United States total spending by all consumers as compared to January 1. We dropped off 31.7%. Obviously, going, in April, that's not a real surprise because of the initial stages of the pandemic. Now, I'm going to tell you something that many people they're not articulating because everything is so politicized right now. At the initial stages of the pandemic, we didn't know what we didn't know, right? We had no clue. Everyone, the world was coming to an end. Everybody was going to get this virus. Everybody was going to die. And there was a lot of fear in the world. Has that changed? Has the virus changed? I don't think so. But I think what has changed is the knowledge level that we have, right? We realize now that not everybody's going to die. In fact, it's going to be a very, very small percentage. One is too many, but it is a small percentage of individuals. But you can see right here in the chart on spending, everyone stopped spending. A lot of people didn't have any money to spend because so many businesses closed. And now we're only down about 4.1%. And when you see this, down 4.1% in total consumer spending. We know 70% of the economy comes from consumer spending. So when you look at GDP, that's 70%. Talk to any economist. That's where they get that number from. Down 4.1%. Are you ladies out there spending money?
A little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell that to my wife all the time, spending a little too, maybe she's a lot too much. But here's the part that I found fascinating out of all those numbers, right? The change in consumer spending, we just said it's down 4.1% on a national level. But the highest populous state in the union is down 12.4% right here in Calizuela. So we're not spending money. Could you imagine if California was only in a similar part to the rest of the country, what those numbers might look like? California down 12.4%. So you told me that you two are out spending money. What do you hear from millennials? Are they spending money? Are they fearful? Is my analysis, where am I off on my analysis?
No, I still think we're out spending money. I think when I look at this chart, a lot of the other parts of the country are more open than we are. So we're still heavily shut down here in California. So there aren't as much people going out into restaurants and dining and all that good stuff. So I think that does have an effect on that chart, that if we were more open, that we would be seeing a different number there.
That's really great information there, Mary, because when you start looking and just applying what you just said, take a look at Connecticut, they're closed. Take a look at New Jersey, they're closed. The double-digit states that are down double digits in consumer spending are basically the states that are, heavily regulated and in many instances closed a lot. So, if the Disneyland's not open, the theme parks aren't open, restaurants aren't open. I don't go to malls. I don't know. Are they open or are they not open?
It depends on the county.
Okay. So good information right there, that it's hard to go and spend money when there's nothing to go spend money on. Unemployment. Tell me, now we can see on the chart, it's pretty simple that we went from a 14.7 unemployment. Actually, to think about it, look what happened there. In February, we were down as low as 3.5% unemployment. generally from an economist standpoint, and yes, I did study economics. I'm a nerd, right? So one class short at Chapman of getting an economic degree way back when in the dark days. But 5% is considered full employment. We were at 3.5% in February. Right now, we're down to 7.9, down from 14.7 unemployment. California still has a lot of people that are unemployed, although we haven't been able to figure out how to get our unemployment system to work, so they're not filing unemployment claims in California anymore. Fascinates me right there how that could be in a state that runs technology, that we don't know some of these things. 7.9% unemployment. Any comments?
Sam? I was like, I think it's good to see, as things start slowly opening back up and people are getting back to work.
So from a millennial standpoint, are you seeing a lot of your friends? Are they working? Are they not working? Are they hunting for jobs? Or let's go to the other part of it. Are they excited about getting that extra $600 check or the extra $300 check on the unemployment system?
Yeah, I think this is something we sort of talked about last month too. I think we're a little bit unique where all our friends are in the essential jobs. I mean, they all work in real estate or they work in nursing or stuff like that. So they all have been working this entire time in essential. I do see a lot in like Facebook groups and stuff that I'm online. There's a lot of people who were hurt and they did lose jobs and they're moving out of California because of it. I mean, their industry is basically shut down and they don't see anything coming back soon. So they're all moving back home. So, I mean, my close friend group, we've all been essential though.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we kind of hang out with people that are in a like world as us, so as in most instances.
Yeah.
So we hang with people who want to work. You know, you two ladies are working all the time. I see that. So we send it to go around and hang around with those people that are similar to ourselves. We're going to continue our conversation with the ladies when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial market. 6 reasons you'll win by selling with a real estate agent this fall. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part: you still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800 306 1990. That's 800 306 1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800 306 1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest, 79564. 6 reasons you'll win by selling with a real estate agent this fall. There are many benefits to working with a real estate professional. When selling your house during challenging times like what we face today, it becomes even more important to have an expert you trust to help guide you through the process. If you're considering selling on your own, known in the industry as for sale by owner, FSBO, it's critical to consider the following. Number one is your safety. Your family's safety should always come first, and that's more crucial than ever given the current health situation in our country. When you FSBO, for sale by owner, it's incredibly difficult to control entry into your home. A real estate professional will have the proper protocols in place to protect not only your belongings, but your family's health and well-being too. Number two, a powerful online strategy is a must to attract a buyer. Number three, there are too many negotiations. Think about this. And if you're trying to do this on your own, do you understand them all? The buyer who wants the best deal possible, the buyer's agent who solely represents the best interest of the buyer, the inspection companies which work for the buyer and almost always find challenges with the house and the appraiser if there is a question of value. As part of their training, agents are taught how to negotiate every aspect of the real estate transaction, how to mediate the emotions felt by buyers looking to make what is probably the largest purchase of their lives. Number four, you won't know if their purchaser is qualified for a mortgage. Number five, FSBOing, as it's called, for sale by owning, has become more difficult from a legal standpoint. Number six, this is the biggie. You net more money using an agent. Many homeowners believe they'll save the real estate commission by selling on their own. Realize that the main reason buyers look at FSBOs is because they also believe they can save the real estate agent's commission. The seller and buyer can't both save on the commission. I love this one. A study by Collateral Analytics revealed that FSBOs don't actually save anything by foregoing the help of an agent. In some cases, the seller may even net less from the sale. Study found the difference in price between a for sale by owner and an agent-listed home was an average of 6%. One of the main reasons for the price difference is effective exposure. No, I'm not saying that you got to expose yourself, but your property needs to be exposed. The bottom line, listing on your own leaves you to manage the entire transaction by yourself. Why do that when you can hire an agent and still net the same amount of money? Give me a call at 800-306-1990 if you want to chat about getting your property listed. No, I don't sell real estate. I have a license. Even though I have a license, I'm going to tell you this, that most people are not going to tell you this, but I will. Just because you have a real estate license does not make you qualified to sell real estate. You can legally sell real estate, but it does not make you qualified. I will tell you one for very simply. I have a lot of friends that look at selling property. I never, ever list a piece of property. Even for myself, when I had some properties to sell, you know, I was the trustee, a co-trustee for my mom's estate. I hired real estate professionals because you're going to end up with more money anyway. So why do the work? Heck, I like the idea of let somebody else do the work and I make more money. I mean, you talk about a win-win right there. But that is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Continuing our conversation, we've got our Millennial team in with us today. Mary Walters, Samantha Rawley are in the house, both from Realty Pro 100. We talk with them every month and get the Millennial insight into what's going on in the real estate market. Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So we're going to get back into some of our charts that we look at every month. Unemployment rate, 7.9%. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. We wish everybody gets back to work in a safe, secure way. Comparisons. This one fascinated me when I looked at this chart, the unemployment comparison between the Great Recession, between different recessions. So we had the Great Depression, the unemployment lasted 108 months of unemployment greater than or equal to 9%. The Great Recession, 30 months. 1980s, 19 months. 2020, we were 4 months and we've come back. Are you seeing? I know we're in Calizuela, so sometimes that makes it a little more difficult. But are most of the people that you're seeing? I know that your friends you just mentioned in the last segment, your friends are out working and they're in essential needs. But are you seeing most people getting back to work?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're not. That's not a big issue right now that we're seeing a whole lot there. Number of mortgages in active forbearance decreasing. So look at that. This one's a staggering number to me. I think it's going to come out, and I'm going to ask you your opinions because I look at the number of mortgages in active forbearance. When we started this pandemic back in March, there was a lot of fear in the marketplace. Nobody knew what the heck was going to go on. The world was dying, or so we thought. There was a irrational fears, as they put it. Now I think we're seeing that, not everybody's going to die. There's way too many people are dying, obviously, but not everybody's going to die. There are people that are recovering, especially younger people that are out living their lives. But the number of mortgages in active forbearance is decreasing. Are you hearing people that are still fearful out there, Sam, or are you finding people that are going back about with their life?
Personally, yeah. I mean, my friend group, it's kind of mixed. But I see that a lot of people now are just getting kind of tired of it, and they are continuing to want to live their lives. Personally, like Mary and I have said before, we're kind of the if we get it people. But yeah, I mean, we're being careful and cautious, but yes, we are still out there trying to not let this whole thing, I guess, just take over our lives. But
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you have to be, the way I look at it is you have to respect the virus, right? But you don't have to necessarily fear the virus. There's now that we know what's really going on, and I know that in Calizuela, we don't like to talk about it this way, right? Because we know that people are going to get infected. We don't want anybody to get infected, but we know that the overwhelming majority of people are recovering, right? It's not like we thought initially that anybody that got it was dead, right? And we're finding out that that's really not the case. Now, both of you ladies are involved in the real estate world. Months of inventory of homes for sale. One of the biggest challenges I'm seeing, and I do finance and I do a little radio here and there, but you ladies are on the front line of real estate. Are you finding it difficult for people to find enough homes, that people that want homes can't find something that they want?
Yes.
Yep.
Are they shopping harder? Are they making more? What's happening? Are you seeing rejected offers, or they just can't find anything to even make an offer on?
Just outbid, I would say.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's the same issue we've been seeing for the last couple months is there's just a lack of inventory. So every single listing that we see come on the market, it's multiple offers within the first 24, 48 hours. So we've seen people get beat out time and time again, and they're just having a difficult time finding the right.
Are you seeing properties being, are they, in your opinions, and I know you're both in real estate, I don't know whether you get out and see it this way, are people paying too much for the property just so they can get it? Are they fearful that they can't buy something, or is it just the properties are put on the market at a compelling price, so they're getting multiple bids?
All of the above.
All the
Yeah.
above?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen a couple scenarios where people are overpaying and they're bringing in cash for the difference because they've been beat out so many times. So they realized if they want to get really serious about it, that's what they had to do.
Mary, you got to explain that, because I'm a simple guy. They got to bring cash. They got to pay cash for the whole property?
No. So for a lot of these people, they are paying over the appraised value. So because of that, they're having to bring cash in for the difference of what they're actually paying versus, what the loan is for. Can't be above the appraised value.
Okay, so the loan is based on the appraised value, and you have the right to pay whatever you want. And that's a big misconception that people have, I think, is they think that, well, I'm not allowed to pay more than the appraised price. But the fact of the matter is, you can pay whatever you want for a piece of real estate. The loan is just going to be based on what the appraisal says, and then whatever your percentage of down payment is going to be based on the appraised value, and then you bring cash for the difference is basically the concept there. A lot of people with equity, are you seeing that as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, we do our rapid equity, community events to teach people on how to use that equity. So we pull lists all the time of how much equity is just around our office, and there's so much equity sitting there untouched.
Yeah, great. And we don't want to talk about the rapid equity, what that means, and what is that something people can go to those, that when you talk about rapid equity?
Yeah, 100%. So we actually have our next event. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. If they go to our website, realtypro100.com /events, there is a link to register. But we talk all about using your equity and building on it. So taking equity from one property, using as a down payment for an investment property, and building your equity that way.
Great information. We'll put a link to that in our information here as I mess up the screen right there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, yes, we do have a featured home today. We're going to talk about that. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street. Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Yes, MySoCalLender.com. They've got the properties for you. Hey, check this out. This featured home is brought to you by Melinda Johnson, 3337 East Rosedale Lane, Orange, California. 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath. Beautiful 3-bedroom townhome in the gated community of Cambridge Creek. Rarely available unit, one of only a few homes that offers a large driveway, room for parking 2 cars. Appreciate the leaded glass detail and custom edged doors. Note the Brazilian cherry wood hardwood floors throughout the dining area, living room, staircase. Take a look at this, $639,000, City of Orange. You've got 10%. Well, first go look at 3.5% down. You got a principal in payment $43.56, including everything. 30 years, 10% down, $36.63 a month. What are you paying for rent? 20% down, $32.07 a month. Because I do have an NMLS 217037, I have to tell you that the APRs are 4.82, 3.348, and 3.186. Don't want the legal guys to get mad at me and all that other kind of good stuff. So I do share that information with you. But again, that is the featured home segment today, brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. We are continuing our conversation this morning. We're chatting about the monthly market report with our Millennial duo. They come in each month and share great information, share the perspective. I'm the old guy, so I can kind of know, I kind of get set in my ways, right? That's what all those old people do. So we don't always understand exactly the perspective from what the younger folks have. So I love the idea. Samantha, Rawley, Mary Walters come in each month from Realty Pro 100, and they share some great information and some insight, right? All of us think that we have answers to things, and they actually know what the younger folks are working on. Projections on future home prices. So whenever we get to these big impacts like we had earlier this year where everybody was staying home, we had a great economy going until March. Then all of a sudden we look at it and we say, okay, the economy is not doing so well. But you look at this chart, Zelman & Associates, and Ivy Zelman does a great job with real estate projections, saying 5.9% on future home prices. These are national numbers. So we're not the ladies deal more in the Orange County and Inland Empire area, Southern California market. So these are the national numbers. You look at Fannie Mae says up 4.4, NAR 4.3, Zillow 3.6. Haas, I don't know what world they're in. They're saying that property prices are going to go down by 1.1%. Now, I'm a little old here, but supply and demand. Mary, you just said to us a little while ago that people are getting outbid on properties. Is that right?
Yes.
So outbid on properties, that means there's more people that want the property than that property can support, right? By definition. Mm-hmm. And Haas is saying that property prices are going to go down. Do either of you see property prices dropping anywhere?
Nope. Especially not in Southern California.
Yeah, it's that one's a surprise to me right there.
Well, I think what's really funny is looking at that chart a couple months ago, I feel like half of those people were projecting downward, and they've all sort of actually taken a look at the market and seen that that's not the case, and they all, flipped into the green.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And years and years ago, I had an accountant that helped me out, and his comment was the worst possible real estate purchase means you have to hold it an extra couple years, right? So even if you don't get the absolute best price right now, and I don't know anybody that's not getting the best price right now, because properties are selling. There's more people out there that want a property than there are properties that are being found right now. We're seeing that all over within the sound of my voice. So projections on future home prices, I would say 5.9 is a conservative number. So just think about that part of it right there. Very difficult from the increase in delinquencies following the housing bubble. Lending standards have been fairly solid. Homeowners have equity in their homes and be able to restructure. I don't think we're going to see a lot of foreclosures. Do either of you see that in the market that you're talking about?
No, we haven't really seen them come around. So, Ron, I actually have a question for you. So we were talking about forbearances earlier, and that people, when the shutdown first happened, they didn't know what they didn't know. So with a lot of these forbearances coming to an end, and they're gone now. Do you think a lot of people took out forbearances just prepping for the what if? And then now that, the 6 months came to an end, they actually had the money to just pay up?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the case, because if you remember back in February, March, there was a lot of fear in our society. People didn't know what was coming. And I heard a lot of folks that said, something, I can afford to make my payment, but I don't know if I'm going to have a job next month. And I know I still have to feed my family next month. So being that the forbearances are being offered, I'm going to take that forbearance, and if they'll let me put it on the end, because at that time we didn't know what the ramifications were going to be. Were you going to put it on the end? Were they going to give it away? Did you have to make that payment? So we didn't know that answer. We found out that you're going to be able to put it on the end of your mortgage, or whenever you sell or refinance, it has to be caught up. But yeah, Mary, I think that's exactly the case. People took those out. Some of them, I know, I've come across some folks that took out went on the forbearance program because they weren't sure and never actually did a forbearance. They never missed a payment because they ended up going back to work. So yeah, that's a great point, is that people did end up doing that, and just as a precaution. And something that was smart, right? Because if you're looking at your largest investment, don't you want to protect that with everything you can? And if you're going to have that opportunity to be proactive, instead of just saying, something, I'm not going to make the payment, call the investor and tell them you have a hardship and work with them. Yeah, so that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. See if I lost my slides here, I think. There they are. So we are talking about, those of you watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or the AM 1490 KMET ABC News and Talk broadcasts are on their video feed. You can actually see some of the commentary that we're looking at on some slides going through here. Obstacles. Since the beginning of COVID pandemic, nearly 400,000 fewer homes have been listed compared to last year. As a result, home prices are accelerating at double last year's pace. That's according to Realtor.com. Are you finding a difficulty in finding people that want it in your office, Mary? Are you finding people that, the agents are out there looking for listings and there's nobody who wants to sell?
And I think it has to do with, really just the uncertainty still. So that was from the very, very beginning of the pandemic. A lot of people were just unsure of what was going on, and a lot of people were scared to make a move. I think that's, lessening up a little bit, but I still think there is some fear out there.
A lot of fear. Seller traffic. You look at it, and obviously we can see here in Calizuela, if you're looking at our chart, the seller traffic is about one of the weakest parts of the country. Think about the housing market and California in general always leading the country in so many things. Right now, seller traffic is very, very light, according to the charts that we've been seeing here. And you look at the year-over-year change. Take a look at the year-over-year change in listings, total listings. That goes to supply and demand, right? That listings from last year are way, way down as in a generic number. And I'll see if we can find another one here. Urban areas. So here's another question I would pose to you two. We only have about half a minute left. Do you have friends? Are they looking to buy into the urban areas. It used to be that everyone wanted to go to these high rises, in the downtown Anaheim area, or the what do they? I don't call them the condos, or not condos, but the 3-4 story units, multifamily housing units. And now people are wanting to get out into the country. What do you see in the millennial world, Mary?
I think we touched on this a little bit last month too. I mean, I live in those condo complexes down in downtown Anaheim by the stadium, and I personally love it. Yet as people are, adjusting and changing to this more work from home scenarios, I think a lot of people are looking towards, getting out of the city and paying a little bit less from, a bigger house, since they have that advantage of working from home now. So the people who can work from home are taking advantage of it. Me, I don't work from home, so I still love living in the little city area and being close to everything. But I think it is changing the way people think now that a lot of people work from home.
Great information as always. I appreciate you ladies coming in and giving us a perspective, the millennial perspective on real estate. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing that real estate. As always, we ask you set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to the ladies for sharing with us this month, and a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.